And then, you know, then they arrest me, and then I'm like, oh, Asifa, please. I can't breathe.
Look, OT's mad for you.
Crazy. Let a nigga breathe.
No, bro, I shouldn't have laughed at that, bro. I should not have laughed at that. He's still mad.
White people are every single bit justified in being racist. Every single bit justified, to the extent that that means going out of your way to avoid black people when you see them. Every bit justified. And you want to know why? Because we see what happens. And nobody is under any obligation due to liberal ideology to put themselves in harm's way. If you're a white person and you're going to work or going to the ball game or going to the city at night, you don't want to enter into the terror dome where you're suddenly in a sudden death match. You're like in the gulag in Call of Duty fighting for your life all of a sudden because you got on the wrong train car. Because a car full of black people pulled up on you by the bus stop. You turn and you walk the other way. You avoid their neighborhoods. You avoid going out on Memorial Day or Labor Day weekend at night in certain places. When you see them, you start walking in the other direction. And we are every bit justified because we see what's going on and we don't want to die. It's that simple.
If you've been seeing what's going on around the internet, then you've probably noticed that lately Nick Fuentes has been on a rampage. And one of the things he's exposing is these bootlicking black folks who pander to white racists. Now, as of late, Brandon Tatum has been his main target. But if you've noticed and you've been paying attention, he don't have no picks. Matter of fact, let's cut to a clip we done played on this channel before.
You are a token. Hey, Jason, you're a token. You are in conservative media as a black guy that can confer upon white people the dignity of not being called a racist for having their views. That's why you get paid. And that's why I don't. Because I didn't have the privilege of being born black. I was born white. So there's a limit on what I can say. There's a limit on what I can say without being penalized in the so-called free marketplace of ideas. And everybody knows it. You are playing by a different set of rules, pal. You have training wheels on. You think you've earned it? Everything you have. Take a look around at your studio, your contract, your employees. If you said the stuff that you said as a white person, you would be gone. And everybody knows that. You're on Blaze hosting E. Michael Jones talking about the Jews. It's a good thing you're black, because if you weren't, you would have been fired like Elijah Schaefer, because you did not compete to get that. You got it because people feel sorry. People don't want to be called racist. They feel sorry. They need a black person to give them credibility.
He really going in and letting the Raccoons know exactly how the white nationalists feel. Something that if you ain't living under a white rock and have any sense, we all knew in the first place. But here's the interesting thing from my perspective. This dude, Nick Fuentes, ain't just talking. He is the voice of the young white supremacist movement at the moment. So not only is he speaking for them, but he's also influencing and stamping the ideology of the group in real time. So while people like the Cartier family sit back, laugh, and react to what's happening, they better get ready. Because whether they know it or not, he's looking to get rid of the Raccoons and keep that audience all to himself. This new wave of young white supremacists is letting it be known. We don't want or need you around. They telling it to the Indian tokens like Vivek. They telling it to the mutts like Patrick Bet-David and Myron. So you bottom of the barrel tokens like the Cartier family. What you think they're about to do with you?
I think that, because like the same thing, you know, we don't want to go where it's violent either. You know, yes. OT don't want to go where it's violent. Candace doesn't want to go where it's violent.
Nick's point, he's saying, is it's typically a trend of violence from one.
Well, we know black people are more violent. We know this. But that doesn't mean that just like he said, we don't want to go around the violence either. It's not a race thing. It's a violent thing. We don't want to go around violent people. If we go to a HBCU there, you know, like, or somewhere where like, maybe not HBCU. Bad example.
This is a terrible example.
Okay, so why didn't we feel that way at the Black Conservative Federation events?
Because they're conservative.
But they're black.
Conservatives.
But they're black. You see?
No, but
it depends. Even when we were at the Essence Festival, that was in New Orleans. They were not conservative, but there was no frequencies in there. You know, it's certain places you can go. It's like you said, it's the violence. When you know there could be violence, and yes, I will not just sit out here and say, yes, we know black people are the most violent, statistically speaking.
Now, the dude in the middle seems to have a few more brain cells than the rest of the group. And I could dismantle the whole black people are violent thing easy because that's racism 101. Like, how can anybody say that the black people is the ultra violent race when white people's whole existence has been spent wiping out people in the most harsh and violent ways possible, including now with the army and doing it in the name of war? But I don't want to get into these white nationalist talking points because they're too easy to shred. And if you can't spot the propaganda going on by now, then you either don't want to or you just don't have any critical thinking skills. But these dudes is so dumb that they're supporting the extinction of themselves. When those white supremacists start using these same dumbass talking points to let you know why they no longer want you around, or to let their audience know why they no longer want them watching you, the irony is going to be Hall of Fame. Because here's what I want you to know. I believe that's what Nick's really doing. I think the reason why you see him becoming more extreme with his rhetoric is because he's telling his white supremacist fan base, you no longer need to watch these raccoons anymore because I'm going to say the shit that they say anyway. So you might as well just watch me. The clock's ticking. Nick's about to turn their TV off. And don't start trying to have an epiphany. Stand on your square about everything you said about us. And don't get to crying racism. Y'all see that's Officer Tatum's new trick, right? After spending all those years telling us that racism doesn't exist, he now screaming that Nick Fuentes is being racist towards him. Brandon, you know we can see you, right?
But guess who decided to use the N-word to bring up yours truly? Lil Hitler, Nick Fuentes.
This is one of the coldest things about the monster guys like him and the Cartier family created. Look at the comment section when he talks about Nick Fuentes being racist towards him. Not B. Tatum crying about racism now. What a victim. It's 2025. Racism doesn't exist. Mr. Victim Man on his ass. Look at this. Are you saying you would assault a man for speaking words at you, officer? Oh, nah. They didn't call him Officer Talmud. Come on, man. Shout out to the homie. He say, bruh, your whole fan base thinks like Nick. Come on, man. A couple that he gotta like. This is a wild comment section. Come on, man. Officer Tatum had no problem when the white lady called the young black boy the N-word at the park, but now he is upset. Very interesting. Come on, man. Getting on him. This is wild. He called him Brandon Tel Aviv Tatum. My goodness. He looks and speaks exactly like Rumpelstiltskin on Shrek. Come on, man. He gotta like a couple. This is crazy. Tokens always get spent. Come on, man. Congrats on the 7,000. Man, this is crazy. Officer Tatum said he's not a wuss, but sold his soul for 7,000. Come on, man. Let's get it. There's people on YouTube I've listened to for maybe a minute and never listened to them ever again. And that's how I feel about this guy. Man, they going in on him, man. I thought racism didn't exist. Man. Come on, man. You should rename your channel to the Officer Tatum Talmud. Come on, man. This is crazy. We seen enough of this. My bad for putting y'all through this. We've had enough. That's wild. This is what happens when he tries to get some sense. Now he's slowly but surely trying to get that black card back. You seen Candace Owens trying to do the same thing. And mark my words, you're going to see the Cartier family try to do it too. The game y'all playing is like trying to have a lion as a domesticated pet. Yeah, it might work out for a while, but eventually that lion's going to turn around and eat you. And them white supremacists y'all pandering to, boy, they heartless, soulless, and don't bring your ass back over here when they done with you. I'm out.